Here we are. Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello. I think, yeah, everything's working.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
We are back from vacation. Hey, I forgot to run something on Thanksgiving. I don't know what happened in our slot. It probably just did a rerun, but sorry for all you Thanksgiving viewers. Y'all eating dinner, watching us on stream. I don't know what replayed, but I'm sure it was something from the collection. But here we are again, back from the break.
Yes.
And I think Corey's got a special treat for you today. I guess I gave him a challenge.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd refer this as a treat, but we'll find out. Anyone who's watched the stream with any regularity has heard me complain about being envious of Jay's access to a lot of cool free software. For some bizarre reason, there's great free tools for doing all kinds of creative things. There's great image manipulation tools, 3D modeling tools, video editing tools. But for some reason, there's not a great free digital audio workstation. There are some useful cheap ones, but there's not like a great free one that I like to recommend to people. I teach Ableton. Ableton is a very cool, powerful, flexible program, but it's not free. It's kind of expensive.
How much does it run right now?
I actually have not looked at the pricing in a minute. I was complaining about it, but it did not look exactly what it was.
Does it change sometimes? Depending on...
Well, just all sorts of prices are changing right now.
Yeah.
You know, so let's see. I got to log out to see the actual prices. It's on sale right now if anyone's trying to buy it. But let's see. What are they charging for it these days? I should know this off the top of my head. Live. Okay, yeah. So, that looks like Suite actually got maybe a little cheaper. So it's $100 for intro.
Okay.
$450 for standard, which is what we're running here, and $750 for Suite, which is what I use and what we have in the main studio. Mm-hmm. There is a heavy education discount, so I did not pay that much, and we did not pay that much here. And any of you who are students of ours probably wouldn't have to pay that much either.
And that's a one-time
yes,
buy, right?
Well,
do you get a license, or does it change?
You own this version, and the point updates are free, major updates are paid, and they're kind of expensive.
Oh, so like from 10 to 11?
Yep.
Ah.
Yeah. Because I have an educational license, and because MARZ is part of this like educational program offering stuff that they have, I've been getting some good deals on it, but it's kind of prohibitively expensive otherwise. There's like, if you buy FL Studio, you get free upgrades for life.
Yeah.
I believe actually, I don't know if Logic is the same way, but Logic's only $200 for the full version. So.
Yeah.
But you have to have a Mac for that, so that's where they get you.
Yeah, it's always like video stuff. I mean, unless you're Premiere Pro and you're paying Adobe out the wazoo for months at a time, but it's like, you know, I don't even know what they're current monthly, but they are all subscription.
Right.
But DaVinci Resolve, which you run the free version in here, but Studio, which the free one's pretty much, you know, you can do all that you need to do, unless you're doing a lot of like graphic design stuff or like a lot of compositing where you're cutting things out, green screen, a lot of that sort of thing. But it's $300, or I think it's $295. The great thing is though, you buy any of their equipment. So if you buy a Blackmagic camera, I bought a Blackmagic, they call it a speed editor. Essentially, it's a special keyboard that has like all the hotkeys and like some dials and stuff, so you can just have it next to your regular keyboard and like have all your extra hotkeys and stuff. And you buy that for $300 and you get Studio. So essentially you get the hardware and you get the upgraded software. So
yeah, a lot of companies do that kind of thing, where
nice.
it's like.
Does the push have anything like that? Do you get a version of?
I mean, it comes with intro.
Oh, okay.
But it doesn't like doesn't unlock anything special.
I see. It's interesting how different companies do it different ways. So
totally.
So
Pioneer, like we were talking about Pioneer DJ stuff, their record box software like has some features that you can buy, or if you buy hardware that runs it, it unlocks those features. Or like basically like there's there's different pieces of hardware have different functionality, and you can unlock that in the software, so you can use it with whatever controller you want, or if you have the controller that has the right knobs for that stuff, it'll just work. So it's somewhat user-friendly. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Cool.
so complaining about software, hardware purchasing. So anyways, like I like to teach free tools. Like I'm envious of Jay. I think it's super cool. Like if you're just starting out, like any amount of money investing is a barrier, right? And so like if you can try doing the thing for free, then it's a lot more accessible to try. And so the other thing about Ableton is that it is a desktop app, and so requires a Windows or Mac installation. And so increasingly, like I'm finding that having a desktop computer or laptop or whatever, like a PC, is a barrier for folks. You know, like a lot of people just have phones and tablets and maybe a Chromebook. So I started poking around for browser-based tools. So the advantage of running something in a web browser is that you can run it on any machine at all. In theory, this thing I'm going to show you should run on any device that can access the internet. Some features are restricted to certain web browsers, which I'll show you. Yeah, after poking around, I found this tool called BandLab. I've maybe mentioned this before in a rundown of options of free tools. I've not really gotten into this with any students before, but after playing with it for a little bit today, I am thinking I'm going to start because well, I'll say first, it's kind of clunky because I'm used to like a pretty slick and well thought out interface that has been in development for 20 years. There's some UI clunkiness to get around, but it's a pretty complete package and does a lot of things you want it to do, and it saves to the cloud, and it's just super cool.
I really like that.
Yeah, it's great.
Super convenient.
Yeah, so figure I'll just like get into it, and we'll just like try and make something in here, and I'll walk you through like what I'm seeing and what I like and what I don't like. First off, so here's BandLab, bandlab.com/studio. This is like a BandLab Studio, I believe, is this actually what this thing's called. BandLab's a company. They also make a downloadable desktop DAW called Cakewalk.
They make it. Oh, cool.
Well, they bought Cakewalk.
They bought it
from the previous developers. Yeah.
Interesting. I always thought that was a pretty popular one. I would have thought it would be the other way around.
It was.
It was.
I think a long time ago.
Okay.
These things come and go.
That was what I remember in high school. People always talking about was Cakewalk.
And it maybe just was free back then too, and that's why it's like so. Cakewalk is free and downloadable. Anyways, I think we may have played around a little bit with that one on the stream at some point. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I know we did the PreSonus DAW, Studio One.
Studio One.
And we might have tried. What was the other one? There was that other one that was really clunky too. Anyways, this is cool though. So. When I'm looking at this thing, I'm immediately reminded of GarageBand. I don't know if any of y'all have used GarageBand, but the UI here is very much like it. It's laid out in a similar fashion. I mean, like pretty much all these programs are, right? You know, you have your track headers on the left, Ableton's on the right. They've got to be contrarian. But every other program has them on the left like this. You have your timeline. There's no like loop-based like clip view like Ableton has, which GarageBand now has as well. But that's fine. It doesn't really matter. So one of the things, like usually, like if you're used to looking at my Ableton screen, we're used to seeing a big file browser over here where you can see your assets. That they do have a similar thing over here. There's this thing called BandLab Sounds, which is a just bunch of loops, one shots, and then organized into packs if you want them that way. So we'll probably poke around into one of these and try and get some like cooler sounds. Yeah, it'll be interesting. The household pack. Oh,
like you said, you can upload your own and everything.
Yeah, you can. It was pretty easy to drag and drop. I'll try and do a little bit of everything. Just show you all like as much of the functionality as I can.
It's like Canva, but for music.
Kind of, yeah, yeah.
Got a bunch of already available assets in there, and.
My screen. Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, it's been a little laggy. I'll try to adjust it here.
Yeah, definitely.
I noticed that earlier.
Definitely lagging.
It was very.
That's curious. I wonder what that's about. Let me see if I can do anything from my end. I'm on the right network at least. Sending a lot of data.
Yeah.
Huh.
Still not completely sold on the Macs like the how much NDI's developed the Mac side of the screen sharing stuff.
Right.
Just enough for it to work, but not enough for it to work perfectly.
Right. So, we'll forge ahead. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah, I'll mess with it on my end.
Yeah. So you can click here on this Add Track button. I'll show you. I pulled up a MIDI track with a grand piano instrument just to have something. But if we click on this Add Track button, you can see the different options of things. You have this voice/audio, which is like a regular audio track. Basically, like Ableton, there's audio tracks and there's MIDI tracks, right? Just pretty much like anything else. Here they try and really make it simple for you. Like if you so they ask you, what are you trying to do? You're trying to sing? You're trying to play an actual guitar? Or you're trying to play an actual bass? And so those things are like audio tracks. If you click the voice audio, it'll load up with like some pitch correction, which it comes in by default, which is pretty cool. If you click the guitar one, it'll load up it'll give you the option for tuner and like just be ready for your guitar input, and you can add effects to it. Click the bass one, it'll do the same thing, but it'll show you little cute little bass. It's monitoring. I believe it is monitoring my microphone.
Your laptop's mic?
Yeah. Yeah, it's so. So, I should say, I am using Chrome right now.
Okay.
You may have heard me talk about how much I dislike using Chrome in the past, but Chrome is one of the most broadly supported platforms in that they have a lot of cool, friendly features, including MIDI support and support for audio interfaces. So I can like actually access all of my audio interface options that I normally have here. We could run audio in through the Scarlett and record stuff like direct guitar in here if we wanted. Channel selection.
And that's not available on like Safari or anything like that?
Yeah, I didn't try the audio ins and outs, but the what did not work in Safari was the MIDI in and out. So I have the MPK Mini hooked up here, and
it just works.
Weird corporation. Yeah, it just works. I actually didn't have to set it up at all. I just plugged it in and it worked right away. I love that. Definitely there's some setup involved to make, like if you plug this instrument into Ableton, it doesn't work the way you'd hope it would.
That's nice. The plug and play functionality is always...
Yeah.
It's like if something just doesn't work right off the bat with a beginner, you're just getting into it and then you have to go and mess with all the settings and stuff, it's a instant like...
For real. This thing is like literally, I plug in the keyboard, I open this thing up, I add an instrument track, and it queues up a grand piano preset already, and it's already armed and playable.
That's right.
Whereas in Ableton, it's like you load a MIDI track, you choose the piano, and then you arm it, and then you would have had to go and like set up your... Yeah, it's like a real pain in the butt. I am noticing too that there's like no latency.
Don't mind the latency from the video. The sound you're hearing is probably a better example. Well, hey, that wasn't bad.
Yeah, no, like from my experience, it is like practically instantaneous. Like as low as I need it to be. I have zero complaints about latency. So it's pretty fun. Whether that stays in time with the app, we'll see.
Right.
So like this is like, it's clunky and it's web-based, and like this isn't really, web browser apps aren't like mega robust like desktop apps. So like there's like, I've been noticing some funniness, and we'll probably see some as we get in here. So let's start by doing something. I'm gonna like create a little like drum loop. I'll show you this thing. This took me a second to wrap my head around. One thing that Ableton doesn't have that I miss is a step sequencer. I mean, there is like, you can treat the piano roll like a step sequencer, but that's not really what it is. And for like old school kind of styles, the step sequencer is really great. So they have one here. They have a drum machine. So I'm gonna pull out the drum machine. And this confused the heck out of me when I first opened this. Let me get rid of some of these tracks too. Let's start with just that. These are clips, right? But this thing is like I guess this isn't really like a normal MIDI track, right? If I pull out this piano track again, I can like create a MIDI clip. The language here is create a region.
A region.
And so like by default, it creates a 4-bar MIDI clip, and here it is. You can't change the grid size without zooming in, which drives me batty, but. Anyways, so this is like the normal sequencer, but with the drum machine, you get something really different. You can't edit MIDI, but you get a step sequencer, like what we call a Zox XOX style sequencer, like from old TR drum machines. And just like my drum machine, you have 8 possible patterns for this kit. And just like my drum machine, you can have different sounds on the same lanes, different patterns, which is pretty neat. But also kind of challenging and weird. So anyways, I'm going to just make an A pattern, and I want to like scrap this one. Can I? Yeah, I can't drag and, oh, I can, great. Click and drag to get rid of all those things. We're gonna go for like a sort of a garage kind of vibe. I can't bring myself to say garage, it sounds so silly.
What is happening here?
You having some issues there?
Oh, there it goes. Maybe it's just my... Huh. Not sure what that's about. It's going fine now. Of course, the mouse isn't in the right spot, but...
I'm learning something already. Cool. So I made this pattern. So like the way this works is you make the pattern here, and then you can click this button to insert it, which you're not seeing because my screen's laggy. But you want me to restart NDI? Would that be helpful?
It seems move around a little bit.
There it is.
Okay.
That's current. So anyways, so I can make my pattern, and then I hit this add button, and it drops a 1-bar version of that clip in here. It's pretty neat. So I can make these loop. If you select this clip, there's that little loop thing. If you mouse over it, you get an arrow that lets you drag out the loop. So here's my B pattern. I ended up making my pattern on B for some reason because I don't know what I'm doing. I can loop this by turning looping on, and this red thing here is our loop brace. Or you can toggle it by clicking on it. That's neat.
Yeah, I keep losing you. Hold on.
Thank goodness my audio is coming separately.
Oh yeah, the audio sounds perfect. It's just the video.
So I'm kind of curious, like, I don't really like how, ooh, that's weird. Lets you pop that out into a separate window, which is kind of distracting. I don't really like how this 808 thing sounds right now, so I'm gonna see if I can I swap out drum, what's the difference between a drum kit and a drum pad?
That one. These are cool. So is this all free, or are there like paid packs, like sound packs you can get or something?
I don't know. I haven't seen any, like, nothing's popped up trying to suggest I pay for anything, so.
It's like
I struggle with pre-made kits.
yeah.
Kind of like this though. This is kind of cool. I like this, like kind of this like low-key energy. I'm gonna make like a mellow thing. I'll add some like something heavy to it, you know. So I want to make a variation on this. I can switch patterns here, but I gotta like manually clear it. And I kind of want to like replicate my pattern. So I'm gonna like drop one of these A's in, and I think this will drop in wherever my like cursor is here. Yeah. So like we're gonna be a little less fit. We're gonna put it right here on 2, and then I'm gonna put it here again on 4. So
I see.
it's a little tedious, but come
on. It's weird that it's like. Hold on. Let me see if I can refresh this.
Oh. Oh, it's a different sound there. Cool. Anyways, I like this like little like sequencer thing. It's like nice and fun and friendly. One thing that's kind of frustrating about using this style of thing versus like another style of drum sequencer, I'm just gonna copy and paste these patterns, is that like if I want to like edit one of these patterns, like I like to do a thing, you'll probably see me do this, where like I'll make this drum pattern and then I'll make a copy of this clip without my kicks or something and like get some extra mileage out of it. I don't know if there's a way to like, there doesn't seem to be like a way to copy this pattern from B to C, like which is a really standard feature in sequencers like this. Like I definitely use the crap out of that on my drum machine, where I make a 1 bar pattern, copy to the second bar, make a change, copy that first bar to the bar 3, copy the second bar to bar 4 and change that. So then I got a 4 bar pattern, like pretty straightforward. In this thing, it seems like it's easier to approach that if you use the sampler instead. So the sampler here is just like a drum rack, and you can drop your own samples in here. So I can, like, I had some success bringing stuff from my computer. Here, I'll show you some samples I found today. These are samples from that PC Music ARG thing. Let's use that one. So I'll just like, it's just super straightforward. Boom, there's my sample. Just like in Ableton.
There's a BandLab app too, huh?
Yeah, I believe there's a mobile version of this.
Oh, I wonder if you can sync them up so you could do some just like...
I would hope so.
Some basic layouts on your phone. Well, it's kind of laggy sometimes. I wonder if it depends on your phone as well. Check it out. Wonder if it's on Android.
So I just want to like import a few of these, and we can like, we'll make like a little, yeah. I noticed this. So first funny thing, right? So if I can create a region over here, it'll insert a drum thing like that. On this track, I can create a region here, it'll insert like an empty MIDI clip. With this sampler track, I can't do that. I don't know why. And I really don't know why. I'm gonna flip these over all to one-shot mode. So the only thing I figured out that I can do is play this thing live in. So I can record my own input, which is kind of cool too.
Oh yeah, there's it's on Android. It's got to be on iOS probably.
Pretty sure it is.
I got my iPad here too.
It'd be pretty bizarre if, yeah. Very unusual that, I mean, whatever, like, you know, like Android devs and iOS devs tend to be different crews, but like very unusual that a full-featured app like this comes to, like for music, comes to Android and not iOS.
True.
For some reason, iOS seems to be the home of mobile music making. So anyways, I can just record this. It's kind of clunky. I don't get any of that cool like capture features from Ableton where like grab my MIDI after I'm done with it. I just have to hit record and it just does like loop recording with overdubbing. And I'll just like see how it goes. Like I got a count in one time when I did this. Yeah, I think it's gonna do it now too. What am I gonna do even? That sort of thing, yeah. 2-shell type beat. Here we go.
Shells.
So that was more in time when I played it than when it played back my recording. So there's some latency, like my playback of my track when I'm performing it live is really snappy, but there seems to be some input latency. Like I swear I played that better than that. So, and you can just see exactly how late stuff is. It's not terrible, but let's quantize it. Oops. So quantizing seems to have not worked quite correctly. That's pleasant.
Yeah, that's a nice noise.
You can right click here. Yeah, so like it, kind of a clunky thing, right? You can right click here and select, I like this feature. You can say, select all of those notes with the same pitch. We'll quantize them. Oops, that one didn't make it to the right spot. Doesn't really, seems to really be trying hard to like snap somewhere other than where I want to put it. So let's see, is this working for me? Whoa. Ah, you see what's happening? Maybe you can't see that. I keep trying to grab this note, but it's popping up a little UI element over it. So cool, I like that. So this sounds like a little much for me. I want to like change something about how this sounds. So let's tweak it a little bit. So we can go over to the sampler and let's see what our options are. It's pretty straightforward. We can trim it. We can pitch it. Although, like, check this out. Stom's not doing anything.
It's not changing anything.
Nope. Neither is that one. Why is that? Yeah, it's not actually working on any of them. So this is not the first time I've run into this where I've like turned some knob and it just didn't work. I had this where it was the volume slider for one of my channels, just like had no effect. Something I noticed was let's name this project Stream, and then let's save this, save it, saving, and then we're gonna refresh this.
What, like reload the save?
I'm just gonna refresh the page, and it'll reload the tune, and let's see if that knob works now. This fixed the problem for me before. My MIDI keyboard is connected. Here's my sampler. Yep.
No, it's working.
Yep. So, yep. Oh, it just stopped working. As soon as I played back the song, it stopped working. And it no longer works on any of these pads. So, first major roadblock. I do like that value better, but I wanted to do more. I don't know how.
Oh, the iOS app looks totally different than the...
Interesting. Yeah, none of the controls for the sampler affect the sound. The channel volume still works though. Let's see if we can do anything with effects. So I can't edit the mixer or do anything, but we can like add some effects. I really like this effects management thing here. So like these tabs down here, we have the equivalent of Ableton device view, the device thing. Like here's our instrument, here's our effects, and here's the MIDI clip. Very straightforward. And so like for this, like these effects, we just click the plus. Like there's a bunch of presets of chains, but I don't like to use that. Hit add effects. Here is the list of included effects. It's huge.
Wow.
And like, there's a bunch of like super standard, really useful things in here that are absent from Ableton. Like an LA2A emulation, which is like a compressor that I put on pretty much everything. Or I hear it. There's a bunch of guitar pedals in here.
Cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. Anyways, and pitch shifting, which is kind of fun. Let's pitch shift this thing. We're gonna put the pitch shift. It's adding a bunch of latency. Can you hear that? when it's off, it like fits a lot better. So okay, maybe we'll not use that. We'll find like a melodic instrument we can do that with, maybe. Let's add. I'm not going to do it, Jay. I'm going to avoid it. I'm not going to troll everybody here right now. Beginning lead. Let's try it out. Ooh.
Oh. YouTube.
That's a really interesting sound. I like that. This is a really funny little idea. Let's quantize this thing. So notice what was created here. Like there's a bunch of like extra notes because it like does this like looping recording. And quantizing, I would have hoped would clean that up, but. So let's see what we can do with that. I'm not so worried, like since this isn't like drums, I'm not worried if this thing gets a little like laggy. It's not gonna have the same like expectations of tightness. I kind of like that sound, that's pretty fun, but I don't like that part.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll do that. That's kind of fun. That was a little.
That was like cut you off just before the end of it.
Funny little mistake. Oh yeah, so cool. Just like Ableton, holding control lets me move things off grid. That's convenient. Let's Control A, select all, quantize to 30-second notes if we can. And then we'll quantize everything else to 16s because that's actually where I want them. Some of these are getting a little funky. Interesting.
Not quantizing, right?
Yeah, doesn't it seem? It sounds off to me. Doesn't it sound off to you? Let's investigate this. I'm gonna get rid of these rhythms. Like something just feels super funky to me about this. Oh, it's that note is being funny. Very interesting. I'm not sure what that was about. Let's just make this. I'm gonna program it and make it perfect, and if that doesn't make it work. It's really weirded out by that result I was getting. think it's just that like the delay introduced by the pitch shifting that's making it sound a little wacky. So cool, let's context this a little bit with a bass line. So let's see what we can find in here. Bass sounds. I was gonna change gears, but synth basses. Oh, I love that sound. That's super cool.
That's a cool one.
Yeah, I want like one of these like. Yeah, dirty web.
Whoa.
I don't like the repeating thing.
They don't really have many options.
That's closer to what I was hoping for. Oh, it's got like that like long decay on there. It won't like shut up.
No.
What if? Maybe we can gate it. I think there's a gate in here. I can search for the word gate. Yes. Just cuts off the sound. Where'd my gate go?
Oh, it was there for a second.
Yeah, I'm just gonna program this because I don't.
That was, yeah.
Maybe that'd be cooler if it was like on like an offbeat at the end of the bar or something like that. Yeah.
No.
And then let's get like a bass sound here. Like a little one for the downbeat. Synth basses, like something boomy. Oh, it has the lately bass preset. That's great. So that's an important like dance music preset.
Oh, okay.
Let's like get this modern hip hop bass thing going. Let's see what it sounds like. Ah. I don't know what I want to do with the bass line yet. I feel like I'm in A though. I like that sound, but I want it to be a little fatter, so let's like distort it. I really like this plugin.
Drive.
I'm assuming it's like a blues driver model.
Huh.
Yeah, I sounded better than that, I swear. Control A, quantize. Funny little loops going on here. So, yeah, let's, we can sort of like try and make this into like a little bit of an arrangement. It's not the most beautiful track in the world, but maybe I should have done the thing that we talked about, Jay. It's okay. Too late now. Like maybe I can like, I want to create like something sort of like intro-y feeling about this, like.
Is this typical, like, I've seen you do this workflow a lot, like setting up all your different tracks, kind of like the pieces of it, and then sort of arranging it afterwards to...
Yeah, it's one way to work.
Yeah.
I tend to work, like, certain styles of music lend themselves to being composed this way.
I see.
You know, like any style where like the general gist of the thing is like you're going to be looping one thing for most of the tune, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna be variations on a theme. So things like rap beats, dance music, stuff. Like often composed that way. Where like, you know, like you throw on a loop on the drum machine and play some stuff over it, you know, and then like edit that stuff down.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's a quick way to build stuff up, and then just like, the alternative to this is like, you know, you write 4 bars and then you write 4 more bars and you write, or whatever, you know, and, but like, music doesn't always work that way, you know. The pitfall to this workflow, which you've heard on a lot of the things that I'm making here, is that this song only has one part, you know? And so like a huge piece of beat making advice, like a thing that I like hear from professional people when they're talking about like, oh, like what are like the important tips that I have? It's like write a B part, write a second part to your track.
So like kind of go through that whole thing you just did and do a whole totally different thing.
Like maybe, or like take one of those parts and like write a different thing around it or something. You know, I often do this like the simple way to approach this is like, and if we get far enough with this track, I might do this where like I might bring in a new chord progression or a new bass line, or like a new melody, but like keep some other elements the same. Really basic technique to like get more mileage out of your thing. So I was just like thinking about like how to like get something that feels like kind of like a loopy loop in here. I wanted to. So this is kind of so okay. Check this out. Here's an annoying thing that I want to do that I usually do in Ableton that I can't do here. So like this clip plays at the very end of the bar, like the last 8th note of every bar.
Right.
So like when it comes in, I actually want it to come in here at the right before the downbeat of bar 9. And so in Ableton, I can mouse over the left side of this thing, just like I can mouse over the right side and extend it, you know, like that. I can't extend it the other way.
Oh, really? You can't like...
No, there's no stretch it backwards thing, which like is a newbie friendliness tactic. I can't make these clips start somewhere other than their downbeat. Whereas Ableton, it's really easy to do that, and then you end up with a clip where it's like, it's all lined up on the grid, 4 square bars, but the clip actually starts like halfway in the middle of beat 3 of the 2nd bar, and like it's all wonky. I fix something like that in one of my students' projects almost every week.
It's easy to accidentally...
Super easy. So so here's the oh my, I don't know what just happened. That was weird, but it's back now. Just Control Z. So if I want this to play earlier, here's what you got to do. I have to actually just drag it back to have it start a bar earlier. And that's kind of annoying. I don't like this like empty bit of a clip here. And so normally also like I would like just like drag a selection of part of it and like delete the part of it I don't want. That's an Ableton thing. Here's what you have to do here. I have to move my like playhead to a point, and then I can right click on this clip and slice it, and it will slice it at that point, and they can clear. So now I've got 2 clips this one, which is like sliced off at the beginning and then plays once, and then this one, which is a loop that starts square. I think I could drag this one out. Oh no, if I drag this one out, it starts doing some weird stuff because now it's a weird length. So it doesn't support the kind of like friendly looping features that Ableton does, but there's a workaround. So this will do for my purposes. Let's do a little like effects automation too, because we can. We're gonna add a filter, tone, I guess. Multi-filter, yeah, cool. So I want to like automate the frequency of this thing. So I can click into automation mode. This looks just like how it is in Ableton. It's kind of convenient. And then here in my dropdown, here's all my things. It's super straightforward. So I'll probably want the thing open all the way by the end here. Double click to create a breakpoint, and then I'll just like create another one here, and try to anyways. And then I can just like something.
Yeah.
So then here we go, drag these all out. That's it. Oh, is this because we're in automation view? No, I don't know why this happens sometimes. I think it's a glitch. There's one of those things that's funny about I'm using this new program and I'm like, I can't tell what is user error and what is a glitch. And I've definitely, as you've seen, I've definitely encountered some glitches. So it's not all user error, I swear. So okay, so here we're set up with a thing where this thing's got like an 8-bar intro and then it'll loop 8 bars. Let's add like some sort of like riser sound to it. Let's see if they got in the realm of risers. See, I don't know if this would be more of a loop or transition, but we can search, or one shot I mean, but like we search a riser. I think I'm in A minor, so if these are labeled with a key, try and transpose these G minor ones, but those knobs weren't working very well. I like that one, that's kind of weird. But I'm like, let's just use part of it. So I'm just gonna drop this in for this last couple bars, and I'm gonna drag it short, if I can. Oh no, I guess I gotta split it. Slice it and chop this off. Okay, so it'll just play like the first half of that, because it was a little bit much anyways. Oh, come on, start from here. Hey! What? What? That is really weird too. It wasn't doing this to me before. I'm really like disappointed with the weight of that kick. So let's add a sampler instrument, and all right, we can't insert a region here for some bizarre reason. They have some great drum samples though in here. I found some good ones. I want one shots though. I like these. Huge characterful kicks. All really distorted. Whoa. Some good ones in here. Up to the app freeze. Seems to be frozen.
Too many samples.
Too many samples.
Mm-hmm.
Let's refresh, I guess. Hopefully, it says it was last saved just now. See how true that is. So again, this is the danger of browser-based stuff. This
It's not responsive, yeah.
this session is in the cloud, right? Like it's like I'm interacting with a server, and this is all happening there. And so like if the connection gets screwy, everything's screwy. Oh, it just like totally crashed on me.
Save your project?
It did. It said it did, but
Oh,
no.
it saved it?
Nope.
Wait, no?
It said it did, but when I clicked reload, it didn't reload it.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. So
Well,
another thing that I'm really accustomed to is autosave.
yeah. I'm surprised that this isn't like constantly autosaving. Like,
I have yeah. So yeah, I don't use any browser-based tools that don't autosave.
like all the Google Docs stuff, like
Canva does.
Canva, yep, everything.
I've not used a single browser-based tool that doesn't do that. So there goes all the work that I did, completely gone.
Oh, well.
And here's what's left.
Shoot.
From before I even tuned that thing.
So it says last saved up there, what, 23 minutes ago? So did you lose 23 minutes of work? And that was a lot of work.
It was more. I think I lost 40 minutes.
I'm surprised. Is there a setting in their settings to change the autosave interval?
Well, wasn't that interesting that it said it was saved before I reloaded it? It lied to me. It said it was last saved just now, before I refreshed it.
Is there like anything on the projects? No, you can download it.
It didn't save the version history at all. Yeah. What happens if you I'm just kind of curious. Oh. What happens if you hit download?
Oh yeah, what do you get?
Just out of curiosity. Well, not much apparently. Oh, it's doing something. Some sort of seeing a little progress bar up here. Sick. Oh. Look at this. This is tight. So like, I love this kind of thing a lot. Like, a lot of programs, like, I mean, we'll see if this actually works. A lot of programs make it really difficult to get stuff out of them. GarageBand is notorious for this. I love GarageBand as a beginner's tool. It's so cool. It's really powerful. It's like this, but stable. Like, and you could, you got to have like a Apple product to use it, which is like the drawback. It's a great tool. However, when you want to like take it and do something with it, right? Like if you make it, like I've had people be like, oh, I recorded this great track, and like in GarageBand, I'm like wondering if I can have you mix it. So like to export stems from GarageBand, well, maybe it's faster than this because this still hasn't actually given me anything to download. But these are very short. This is it's just about like these. This is like a couple megabytes tops that it's trying to serve me right now. But when you want to export from GarageBand, you have to solo every track and export the entire track for each track you want to export. So if you built up a track with like 20 vocal takes, or like a lead vocal and a double, and then a separate lead vocal and double for the chorus, and then like some each one of those things you have to manually export each track individually. So there's Ableton and most other most other full functional DAWs, like you can, that was just all the waiting time for just one of them. Jeez.
Oh, just one wave?
I'm still working on the other one. It downloaded really fast, like I said, it's like a tiny file. It's what, like, yeah, a little bigger than I thought, 2.6 megabytes. So I could see this being useful for my workflow, even I mean, I'm certainly like not in need of a new DAW, but like those things were like that was really easy when it worked.
Yeah,
it was really easy to make cool stuff in here. I made some way more interesting things earlier. Maybe I can show you. I saved one of them. How do let me see if I can I'm not even sure how to get back to my projects, but let's exit this and see. Let's see. Okay. Well, it says my account's been deleted, so maybe
But-
that's why.
Yeah, banned.
Well, it just like projects. Here we go.
It's kind of got a SoundCloud looking thing
It
going
really
on.
does, yeah. How do I
Studio?
studio? So okay, just like so you can hear something. Like this was a little more fleshed out thing that I created earlier. Yeah, I can play you something. I know we just got a couple minutes left, but this isn't very long. Let's hit play on it. Got a little bit of a chain going on here with some effects automation.
Sick. Yeah.
It's all pretty straightforward though, you know?
That's cool. Seems like there's a lot of effects, huh?
Yeah. Can't help but notice that it's missing some of the changes I made.
There's got to be some setting for that autosave thing.
They're
That's
probably
cool.
somewhere. Yeah. Anyways, that was like, I made that faster than the thing I made on the stream just now, but obviously I wasn't talking anyone through what I was doing while I did it. That went pretty fast. I was really pleased. Like these are stock sounds for the most part. Some of the there's a couple of custom sounds from my hard drive in this drum sampler, but like those are the included bass sounds. Like this vocal thing is like a pitch shifted default instrument. So like in terms of the included sound set and the effects, I really like them a lot actually. Like they were very musical and helpful. The interface leaves a bit to be desired. I'm now curious to try like some of the like an actual app instead of the web version to see if it's more stable.
Yeah.
If there's like I don't know, we'll have to like just poke around and see.
Yeah, it's on iPads and on Android too.
Cool. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so in summation, I do think this is a useful tool. I think that it's definitely not 100% there, and you definitely got to like get your like reflex going on that save button up there.
Yeah.
But it does everything that I could use it to do. We didn't even start recording any vocals, but there is like an auto tune with like scale selector and all that stuff.
Hey, that's cool.
And if it sounds anything like their time stretching algorithm, it's probably terrible, but it's
Just try it out, find out.
great art in music comes from abusing effects in incorrect ways and just embracing terrible sounds.
Making it work for you.
Yeah, totally. Guitar distortion was an accident until it wasn't. And now the 808 bass was supposed to be the sound of a drum, like a kick drum, but they didn't do a very good job. You know what I mean? So there's like the music history is full of this stuff with like using a tool the wrong way, and then that becomes an iconic sound that then everyone tries to copy. So like maybe you'll stumble across your new favorite crazy sound with some combination of BandLab instruments. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's neat though. I'm definitely going to be pointing some students at this in the future.
Yeah, I want to try it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Go mess with it.
I could also see like it being a really cool thing where you can make you can just like make some loops. You're just like, oh, I'm just gonna make a little loop in here and export it as audio and just take it somewhere else,
Yeah, something super simple, just to have a little bit more flexibility than like Audacity or something.
Totally,
and
yeah.
It's got all that built-in stuff already.
Yeah, like it's a kind of similar way that you might use Ableton Note, like the mobile app that I showed off the other day, but like you're not restricted to the Ableton stuff.
Right.
And it exports to all kinds of formats, so it's cool.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
Thanks for checking it out, y'all.
Well, cool. It was a fun one. I like
Yes.
that. And well, we will see you next week for another exciting episode of the MARZ live stream.
You know it.
All right. Take it easy.
See you later.